love being home because my favorite coffee shop makes 32-ounce coffees. I love them. And I have this weird thing where I will take a photo with every one of my coffees. So here's that compilation. Thank you for indulging me. Let's get into the video. What's up, guys? My name is Moo. I'm a college student who loves reading, and I'm here to share that love with all of you. On this episode of Books Moo bought when she was 17. I'm really sad because I feel like I've fallen out of love with the young adult genre. But that's just the age that I am now, I suppose. Don't get me wrong, I did enjoy this book and I thought that it was really well written. I thought the story was really interesting. The writing style of young adult in general just isn't as appealing to me as it once was. We will get into why I feel that way later in the video, but for now, let's read the summary of The Girl from the Well by Rin Shapiro. Okiko knows anger and pain. They are what she last felt before her life was brutally taken from her more than 300 years ago. Now a restless spirit, she wanders, seeking out those who viciously take the lives of children. Okiku always gets her vengeance. She has no remorse for the wicked, until she meets 17-year-old Tark. So, I know for a fact why I picked this book up when I was still in high school. I picked it up because I wanted to get more into the genre of horror, but I just didn't know where to start. So I used Likewise. I don't know if you guys know what Likewise is. It was basically an app where you can say, hey, I'm looking for this kind of book, and people would suggest stuff for you. So I think this is one of the ones that came up. But I don't know why I chose it, because I don't like stories about ghosts. I just am not into that genre. Supernatural elements of stories are just kind of boring to me, which maybe I'm just a boring person in that regard, but that's just how my brain is. I read about ghosts and I'm like, eh. But this is different from other ghost haunting stories because it's not about humans who are affected by the haunting of ghosts. It instead follows a ghost herself as she goes around the world getting vengeance on those who hurt children. That being said, there isn't that much vengeance that is had in this book, which is kind of disappointing. Don't get me wrong, this book I did enjoy for what it was, a young adult horror book about a Japanese ghost. It was very fascinating in that regard. But it just wasn't a book that I would pick up today if I saw it. If you want to read more of the books that I chose to read when I was 17, you can pop up here or up here. I always forget which side it is. If you want to see that playlist, because I will be making that playlist because there's a lot of books that I love to title #I bought these when I was 17 and I've never gotten through them. Guys, I'm 21 now. Some of these books I've probably had for 3 or 4 years. It's so bad. I am working so hard to get through them. But it is not an easy process when you have over 100 unread books. So as the summary suggests, this book follows Okiku, who is a ghost who was murdered in the well. If you can see right here, the cover art, you may recognize this girl. It very much looks like the girl from The Ring. Now, the story of the ghost Okiku did in part inspire The Ring. But either way, this book is fantastic as a standalone, far independent of The Ring. I just kind of wanted to bring that out there because I think that you guys can see here. So the book follows Okiku, who is a ghost that died in the medieval period of Japan, and she now goes around the world tracking down those who hurt and kill children and avenging the children's deaths so that they may go off into the next life. Because if they are not avenged, they are tied to the one that has hurt them until they can be avenged. And Okiku's job is to do that. She is a vengeful spirit. She could go off into the other life, but she is held back by her anger, and that is why instead she is taking the role of avenging these children. As amazing as that concept sounds, except for like the beginning of the book, really, you don't see that too much. It shifts from that quite early in the book to her suddenly being a protector of Tark, who is the 17-year-old protagonist male character. Tark is Japanese American. His mother is from Japan, but he has lived in the US his entire life. His mother lived in a mental hospital until she died, but she was put in that mental hospital because she took her son and she tattooed a bunch of lines on his arms when he was a little boy. So Tark has all of these lines all over him, and he always wears long sleeves because of it, because he doesn't want his peers to see these lines. They think of him as the weird, depressed kid, and that was definitely something that I kind of had a turn off for with this book, because like, oh. This book was published in 2014, and I don't know if you guys remember this, but I remember the depressed millennial stereotype where they just always make self-deprecating jokes and they're like, oh, my life is so hard, like, haha, I'm so depressed, haha, I don't want to be alive, da 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 da, and it's just like, oh my goodness, please calm down, please like get help, like it's not funny, whatever. He wasn't like, oh, I'm so quirky, like I'm so depressed, da 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 da, but he is like this dark, brooding, like 17-year-old boy, and I just think when you interact with that kind of guy in real life, especially in your formative years such as middle and high school, you don't like reading about them. I have my own experiences with guys like that that I don't want to get into because they're no good, they're no good, they're no good. But I ran in the same circles as these kind of guys. So when I read this, I was like, oh, this is kind of cringe. This is like bringing back bad memories for me. But in all, Tark is a pretty good character. He's very depresso espresso. He is not having a good time, but for good reason. His mother is in a mental hospital. He doesn't have a motherly figure in his life. He's traumatized because of his mother, who tattooed his all the way up the arms so that she could seal an evil spirit away from the world through him, but the seals have broken and this evil spirit is coming out. And this is where the main part of our story is coming in. So Okiku, she meets this boy and she has the innate need to protect him. She doesn't understand why, but she feels like she must protect him. And so she stays around him always. She protects him. The evil spirit comes in and tries to hurt him in many aspects, but she wards him off. She will not let the evil spirit touch Tark. And that is just the bulk of the book. It is a cat and mouse type thing where Okiku is protecting Tark from this evil spirit. This all comes to a head when they find out that they must trap the evil spirit forever by going to a remote village in Japan, a village in which Tark's mother is from, and doing what they can to seal this evil spirit away forever. So they have to go back to this remote village. There's a bunch of women who specialize in trapping spirits in dolls. In fact, Tark's mother used to be one of them before she moved away with her husband to the US. Through this, a ritual ensues. It goes absolutely horrible. Some of the women die. Tark was supposed to die. He somehow didn't, but Okiku protects him and he manages to survive. And the book is left on some sort of cliffhanger of Tark being like, I was supposed to be dead.
But I'm not.
Five Nights at Freddy's reference, guys? Did you hear it? But yes, it leaves way for a sequel, one that I will not be reading, but that is basically the premise of the book. I wish that I had more to say about it. It just wasn't super memorable. I just feel like a lot of young adult books aren't the most memorable, and this was one of them, unfortunately. One thing that kind of bothered me about this book was the writing style to some extent. Like, most of the writing was pretty good. don't get me wrong, like, I didn't have much of a problem with the writing style, but there were some creative choices that I wish the author did not do. So the way that some of these words are kind of set up, especially like in the prologue, I just like, I don't get it, because like the way that they're emphasized is just weird to me. It says like, a golden strand of hair smothered within the confines of wood. 1. Something, its own paragraph. Gurgles, its own paragraph. From somewhere nearby. Like, I just don't get why it is something gurgles from somewhere nearby. Like, I don't get that very much. Like, I know that the author was trying to be artistic, but I can't. And then like, something gurgles, which is its own paragraph, and then again, its own paragraph. Like, I don't get it. Or there's, her hair floats down, drifting past her face like a thinly veiled curtain, but this does not protect him from the sight of her eyes. Then my mouth widens further, and I detach myself from the ceiling to like, I don't get it. Fireflies, fireflies, firefly. It reads like, should I be mean? Should I be mean? Most of this book is written very well. I don't want to be overly mean to the author. Some of this book reads like Gabby Hanna's poetry. I just made this realization right now, like I did not plan to say that before filming this, and now I feel bad, but you know, why is there Gabby Hanna poetry in the ghost book? Oh, that's so bad. Overall, I just think that my reading young adult books for the most part is over, and that's really sad to me. I loved young adult reading for so long, and it's just really sad to me that I feel like I've grown past the writing style. I've grown past the storytelling of young adult books, and I don't know, I'm kind of grieving that, because I'm reading a lot of books that I bought when I was 17 TM, and I'm just realizing that I've grown so much past that stage of my life. Of course, I'm going to read the books that I bought. I'm going to give them a chance, but for the most part, every young adult book that I've read as of recent, I felt the same. I felt, this is a good story, the writing isn't bad, it just is so young adult. And I'm just past that stage, and I think that that's really sad for me. I'm not going to give recommendations because I do think that this book was like fine. It was not a bad book by any means. Like, of course I made fun of it for that one part, but you know what, like, I think that's just reminiscent of the fact that it was published in 2014. All in all, like, that's just how I feel about this book. I can't tell you much beyond it. Yeah, you know, that's just kind of all that there is to it. But yeah, I'm done with this video for now. If you liked it, please like it. Comment down below a genre that you used to really love, or a type of book that you really used to love, and why you've fallen out of love with it. And if you like this kind of content, please subscribe. I would love to have you in this corner of the internet. It would make me very happy. So without further ado, this has been Moo. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!